This is Roger the Wise, and this is going to be a tarot reading for the sign of Aquarius for September 2020. Um, so this reading will apply if you have your rising sign, your moon sign, or your sun sign in Aquarius, or your part of fortune sign. And as I've stated in previous videos, around 30% of the population has their sun, moon, rising, or part of fortune in Aquarius. So not everything is going to resonate for every Aquarius. So take what resonates and leave the rest. And also, if you're interested in private readings, my email address is in my description. And I do tarot readings and I do astrology readings as well, as I do astrology electional charts, which essentially picks lucky times for you to do certain things, like say get married, or start a business, or to start something in general. Yeah, so I can create lucky times for you to do those things, auspicious times, to kind of give you the best start at that. Anyway, my email's in the description of the video for that, and also rogerthewise.com will be up and running soon, which is going to be my website, and yeah. So anyway, on to the reading. We're going to start with the astrological influences for the month, and so I'm going to roll the astro dice and see what those are, and then I'm going to do a Celtic cross tarot reading for September 2020. Hey, Isis. That's a good kitty. Anyway, it's Isis. Yeah, she's vocal. Anyway, for Aquarius 2020, here are the astrological influences at play. For Aquarius in September 2020, we have Mars and Pisces in the 5th house. What does this indicate? Mars and Pisces in the 5th house. So this means for some of you that some of you perhaps are going to have conflicts with your children, because Mars can represent conflict, and the 5th house represents children. So for some of you this could represent conflicts with your children. For some of you this could represent conflicts with younger people, because the 5th house also represents younger people. Mars and Pisces. For some of you this could represent conflicts with spiritual people. For some of you this could mean that you're more actively pursuing romance. For some of you this could indicate that you're more actively pursuing creative self-expression of some sort. It could be like a creative project for some of you that's you're just getting off the ground and starting, or putting more work and effort into now. For some of you this could represent a romance or a love affair with a younger person who's spiritual and who is assertive and strong-willed. For some of you this could represent conflict in existing relationships, or romantic or love affairs. Yeah, for some of you I guess this could represent having an affair. Yeah, for some of you in existing relationships, this could represent, conflict with your partner. It could represent arguments, debate. So, for the people that are in relationships and stuff like that, it'd be an idea to think about what you say this month, and to realize that there's added possibility this month of there being conflict of some sort, in your relationships, or romantic involvement. So, like, with that being said, try to react calmly, and to react in a way that comes from a place of you know a place of calmness and objectivity, rather than reacting from a place of negativity, or a place of anger, or jealousy, or things like that, and you'll probably get better results, right? Because in relationships and stuff like that, like, it's best to sometimes, when there's greater tension in the air, sometimes it's better to kind of just chill out, and to if the other person's angry, then to kind of think about what they say, kind of, and just kind of not react too soon. Yeah, because Mars can, Mars is a planet, and its negative expressions can represent, a tendency for some of the people to, react in a way that's, that's a bit too fast, right? Or a bit too, not thought out enough, right? But, yeah. So, since Mars is more prominent this month, so it'd be an idea to, chill out, and to kind of, think about, how you react and what you say and all that stuff. And, and that way, if there is conflict in the air, for Aquarius is right, or, some of you, there is going to be, right? Then you can kind of, you can better diffuse the situation that way, and you can better, reach a compromise or an understanding, by reacting in a more calm way, and reacting in, by thinking things over, and by, being more diplomatic, and, by not adding fuel to the fire, by, by meeting aggression with more aggression, because then if you do that, then it just creates, greater conflict, right? But if you react from a place of empathy and understanding and compassion and all that, and you take your time, the cases that are necessary to do that, then you can resolve something that could have turned out bad, but actually makes your relationship or connection stronger, right? Which is good. So just avoid rashness this month, Aquarius, and try to make more peace and stuff like that. Try to try for a more diplomatic approach, and you'll get better results. And think about what you say, and and think about how that will make the other person feel. And if you do that, then for those of you that there is tension in the air regarding your existing romantic relationships, then you can better diffuse the situation, and establish a better connection with your partner as well. So that'd be an idea, right? And obviously, in relationships too, sometimes there's things that need to be said too, right? And in those cases, in those cases, if you just kind of, if you think about those things over a bit more, first, then you can say it in a way that's the most productive, right? And that'll kind of get your point across, right? And do so in a way that's as productive as possible, and that allows you to strengthen your existing connection or relationship without adding additional tension or conflict between the two of you, right? And if you do those things, then it's a possibility to strengthen your existing relationships, right? Or romantic connections, right? And it's the same thing if you're dealing with a younger person, or with your children as well, right? Because that's one of the things that this could signify too. Those basic suggestions also will apply to any conflict that could be apparent in those relationships as well, right? So yeah, um, beyond that, for some of you, there's the possibility of a very passionate sexual relationship this month as well, right? Because Mars and Pisces in the fifth would represent that. Pisces is a very emotional sign, romantic sign, and Mars is very Mars is a very passionate and sexual planet, and the fifth house is a house of sex and romance, right? So there's definitely a possibility of um, some exciting romantic encounters this month, Aquarius. Some pretty steamy stuff, right? So if you, but with that being said, like there's it's like there's a lot of couples out there, they like to argue and then they like to fucking make up, right? But the reality is that like you know um, that can be you know that can be okay in some instances, right? But if the couple is constantly doing that, it's like it's kind of unhealthy, right? It could turn into a very unhealthy situation, right? So like that being said, there's a possibility for you guys, they're in relationships or having romantic encounters and all that stuff, right? Or people that you're in connections with of various sorts, right? Then there's a possibility for greater passion, and romance in the air. But there's also a possibility of greater conflict as well. So with that being said, it's if you treat your partner well and think about what you say and don't act too rashly and respond in a way that's productive rather than attacking, then you can take advantage of the fact that um, there's greater passion in the air, right? And, you can have more fulfilling sex and stuff like that, right? And more romantic, greater romance in your existing connections or relationships, right? And and while also not hurting the relationship at the same time, or hurting the other person's feelings, or saying things that can't be unsaid, right? Or doing things that can't be unsaid, right? So if you watch the way you respond and watch the way you react and try to come from a productive and loving place, right? Then you can have a strengthened existing connection or relationship while also enjoying the greater passions that are likely to be aroused this month. And, so I mean, I guess that would be the best course of action regarding that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, on to the Celtic cross reading for the month, Aquarius. Yeah. I'm going to be using the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, which is a variation on the Rider-Waite Tarot. Only the cards, they have much more vibrant or radiant colors on them, which is nice. The cards, they look a lot nicer than the general Rider-Waite Tarot cards do. So, yeah, it's a good deck. Otherwise, it's pretty similar to the Rider-Waite deck. It's pretty much the exact same, only it's more vibrant colors and, yeah, the traditional deck. Okay, Aquarius. Oh yeah, for the astrological influences, Mars in Pisces in the fifth could also represent starting new initiatives or projects with younger people as well, or your children. It could also represent starting new projects or initiatives with your romantic partners as well. Um, it could also represent standing up for those people, for those various people. It could represent potentially getting involved in a debate or something, or a conflict of some sort that they may be involved in. It could represent it could represent for some of you fighting for your beliefs, because Pisces is a sign of beliefs, and Mars is a planet of fighting, among other things. Mars, it's fighting is just one expression of Mars. And it's not really its most positive expression, but it is an expression of it. Um, Fighting for your ideals. Yeah, Pisces can represent ideals. Standing up for what you believe in, things like that. It could also represent for the astrological influences of the month. Anyway, yeah. Uh, we have here two pentacles, four pentacles, two cups, one wand. Yeah, two cups, one wand. Four pentacles. Okay, so right off the bat, Aquarius, it looks like material and money matters are going to be important for you guys this month. Um, it seems like material, money, or career, or work matters are going to be, or health matters as well, because all those things are represented by the suit of pentacles, are going to be more prominent areas of focus or concern in your lives this month. Yeah, it looks like a month for you guys where you're going to be very grounded, more than usual, Aquarius. Yeah. Um, yeah. Anyway. For card number one, we have the Six of Pentacles. Card number one. It represents where you're at the start of the month, the significator. So, the Six of Pentacles, it represents one of its primary significations is generosity. It could be, this could mean, for one, that some of you could be receiving something generous. Two, it could represent that some of you may be giving something away, or someone, or there may be an exchange of some sort, or there may be, for some of you this could represent that you may be paying off a debt. For some of you this could mean that you may be being paid back a debt. For some of you, this card, it can represent exchange as well, generally. So some of you could be giving a gift, some of you could be receiving a gift, some of you could be some of you could have something handed to you, some of you could be handing something to someone, some of you could be Some of you could be having a greater focus on your sources of income and sources of security. Yeah. There's definitely a greater focus on money and financial matters this month for you guys. And work-life balance as well, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah. For card number 2, we have the Seven of Cups. This is the surrounding influences for the month of September 2020 for Aquariuses. The Seven of Cups, it can represent having a lot of options available to you. It can represent brainstorming. It can represent fantasies. It can represent altered states of consciousness, visualization, creative endeavors, creativity, creative work. So it seems like for Aquarius during September of 2020, there's more creativity in the air. There's more creativity that you have available to you. There's more. For some of you, this could represent that there's more options available to you than there were before in the past. For some of you, this could represent that you may be planning and brainstorming on how to get things off the ground. For some of you, this could indicate that you may have your head in the clouds somewhat. For some of you, this could indicate that you may be in the dark a bit about some things. As you can see, the person in the card, he's depicted as being completely dark, right? Yeah. This is card number 3, which is the crossing card for September 2020, the Aquariuses. It's the Knight of Swords. As you can see, he's on horseback, and he's wearing a suit of armor. He has his sword in his hand, and he's has an angry look on his face, and he's rushing forward, right? So it's obviously it's a card that can represent conflict. It's a card that can represent debate, strife, an argument of some sort. Yeah. So with these being the crossing card, obviously Aquarius during September 2020, like for you guys, a debate, a conflict, or an argument of some sort, could be blocking or slowing your progress during the month. It's an important theme of the month, to choose your battles wisely, right? Yeah. For card number 4, which is the foundation card, we have the Ace of Pentacles. What this indicates is that during the month, you have an opportunity of some sort for greater financial gain. That's foundational to your present situation. as important as, your foundation to nurture the seed properly and effectively, because it still needs to be nurtured. It's something that's still getting off the ground, and it's not really, it's not established yet. It's not, um, um, it's not fully manifested yet. Yeah. So it needs to be. It's an idea or a thing, or a business project or something, some sort like that. A job that you maybe starting, new way of making income, plan of some sort that needs greater nurturing and time and effort put into it in order for it to really take off. So yeah, it's important that that you, whatever this may be for each of you, it's important that you that you continue to nurture that idea or thing. That way you can kind of that way you give it the best chance to actually become something that's viable for you, right? In the past position, we have the Tower, which would be the events leading up to September 2020 for Aquarius. So this represents that for some of you, perhaps you jumped ship from something leading up to September. This could be an idea, a circumstance. It could be something that you were involved in. For some of you, this could represent that leading up to September 2020, there was a circumstance or an event that happened that was quite unexpected, and that kind of took your, that either may have caused you to question your beliefs about things, or may have caused you to give up on something that you previously thought may have had merit, but realized didn't. This could represent for some of you that leading up to September 2020, some sort of violent or unexpected event, is affecting the present situation that happened in the past. Yeah, it could represent, a sudden shock, an unexpected event, something that causes you to question your beliefs about something. It could be some of you, you've given up on a structure or something that you've built in your life that no longer really, no longer is as viable as it used to be, right? And for some of you, it looks like there's definite conflict leading up to September of 2020 as well, because the Tower can definitely represent conflict. It's the tarot trump card that's attributed to the planet of Mars, so it's yeah, it can definitely represent conflict as well. Yeah. Anyway. This could also represent for some of you, since the Knight of Swords is crossing you during the month. This could represent that perhaps some of you took a position that you had to walk away from, leading up to September 2020, and perhaps for some of you, like I said, the Knight of Swords is crossing you this month. For some of you, the debate could still be on, right? And the astrological influences being Mars as well, because there's conflict too. So for some of you, this could represent that perhaps you took some position, in a debate or conflict of some sort, and you've since had to abandon, that position. And but with that being said, you can still, perhaps, the conflict or the debate, it's still carrying on, right? And it isn't quite over, but it's it's caused you to kind of reassess what you're fighting for, and reassess, the position that you want to take, in that conflict, right, or those conflicts, whatever they may be for each of you, right? But yeah. Mm-hmm. In the crowning position, we have the Hierophant. It's card number 6 in Celtic cross reading. Hierophant in this position, the crowning position, what it indicates. The crowning card, it represents an energy or potential or circumstance that may come into effect, or a person as well can represent, that may come into effect during the month of September, but may not. It's a variable card. It's kind of something that may happen, but may not. So it's something that'll happen for some of you guys, and for some of you guys it won't. With the Hierophant in the crowning position, this could represent that for some of you, the bureaucracy could play a much more important role for you this month. For some of you, this could represent a religious institution of some sort, could play a much more pivotal role for you this month and become more prominent in your lives. This card is also called the Pope in some decks, and it's also called the High Priest in other decks. So this could represent that spiritual person of some sort could become a lot more prominent for you this month, Aquarius. A religious person as well, perhaps. It's possible manifestations. Someone who's wise, someone who's conscientious, someone who has a sense of responsibility could become more prominent for you this month. For some of you, this could mean that you become more conscientious and more wise, and more of an authority yourselves. This month. For some of you, this could represent there's going to be greater guidelines and procedures, or social structures that you may have to adhere to this month than usual, Aquarius. Yeah. For the near future card, we have the Six of Wands. This indicates that around the middle of September, for you Aquarius, there's going to be a small victory of some sort. And for some of you, it could represent a victory of some sort. Generally a smaller victory. And for some of you, this could represent that by the middle of the month, around there, that you'll have more social status, or or gain public opinion in some way. This can mean for some of you that you'll gain greater support from those around you around the middle of the month. For some of you, this could represent that you'll be seen more so as a role model around the middle of this month than usual as well. Yeah. It represents, for the most part, better circumstances, or progress of some sort around the middle of the month. For card number 8, we have the Death card. Card number 8 represents how you should present yourself during the month, Aquarius. The Death card here, this indicates that during the month, you should present yourself as someone who's who's willing to walk away from something, or this could be a deal, this could be a person, this could be a situation. Someone who's someone who knows what they want. You should present yourself as being someone who knows what they want, and if you're not getting that, then walk away. And if what's being presented or offered to you, it doesn't fit your standards, then just yeah, either you know, try to assert what you want. Try to get a better deal out of it, and if you can't, then walk away. Present yourself as desiring to change radically. Um, Present yourself as someone who's trying to transform and revitalize existing structures or existing things, relationships or projects of things in your life, right? And someone who's trying to reinvent them and kind of to an extent, to work on to keep the things that are good, right, and that are working well, but to discard the things that aren't, right, and to replace them with something better, right? Present yourself as being someone who's an agent of transformation, someone who wants to make great change, in the world or within yourself or within your own life, right, or within your existing relationships. For some of you, this could represent present yourself as someone who's trying to transform an existing situation. For some of you, this could represent present yourself as there are conflict cards in the past. For some of you, this could represent present yourself as someone who's trying to bring an end to a conflict. Yeah. For card number 9, we have the Ten of Pentacles, Aquarius. This card represents how other people see you during the month. So it seems like during September of 2020, Aquarius, for some of you, this could represent that you're going to be seen as being a family person during the month. For some of you, this could represent that you may be seen as coming into money this month. For some of you, this could represent that you could be seen as established during this month. For some of you, this could represent that you may be seen as having completed some project during the month. For some of you, yeah, this could represent you seen as completing something of value this month. For some of you, this could represent that you could be seen as having a positive ending to some situation this month. For some of you, this could represent that you'll be seen by others as being more involved with your families this month. For card number 10, we have the Six of Cups. Card number 10 represents your fears regarding this month. So the Six of Cups can represent several things. So what this card indicates in this position for fears, some of you could be fearful of a younger person. Some of you could be scared for a younger person that you may know. Some of you could be scared for your children. Some of you could be scared for some of you could be scared for an innocent person. Some of you could be scared of an innocent person. Some of you could be scared of activities that bring you pleasure. Some of you could be scared of this card can represent intimacy as well, because the children that are depicted in this card are the product, obviously, of that, the parents. So some of you could be scared of intimacy during the month. Some of you could be scared of your own inner child. Some of you could be scared of losing your own inner child. Some of you could be scared of losing your innocence. Some of you could be scared of losing your purity. Yeah. As the final outcome card, we have 3 arrows. This indicates, Aquarius, that by around the end of the month, there's going to be a project that's underway, or you're going to be working on a project that's beginning to bear fruit, and that's beginning to gain ground. For some of you, you could be starting a project of some sort, and coordinating, working on that project, whatever it may be for each of you, with other people, because in this card, it's depicted as a craftsman, working with people of the clergy. It seems like this craftsman is working in church, right? They're telling them what to do, essentially, and they're coordinating their efforts with each other, creating a plan and stuff like that. So, for some of you, you may be, by the end of the month, starting a project. For some of you, you may be reaching the next level in a project or creative endeavor of some sort, or work project of some sort. For some of you, this could indicate by the end of the month that you'll be in the planning stages for something. Probably be a material thing, like something work or job related or business related of some sort. Something will be getting off the ground by around the end of the month for you, Aquarius. And there's going to be progress made. What it looks like during the month, it looks like material money matters are going to be prominent for you guys this month. It looks like that's going to be something that's kind of that'll take up a lot of your time and resources and energy. But it looks like progress is going to be made this month. Yeah, it looks like it looks like it's going to be steady, and it's going to be something that's it's going to take time and effort, but progress will be made by the end of the month. It looks like for a lot of you that your work or your job or your business or things like that, it's going to be more. It's definitely going to be taking up a lot of your time this month, and yeah, for some of you, it looks like your financial affairs are definitely going to be taking up a lot more time this month. For some of you, it seems like your health is going to be taking up more time and energy this month. It looks like it's a good month, but there's definite potential for conflict there. But also, it looks like there's not going to be a lot of time for fun and enjoyment this much for you guys this month. But it seems like the projects or things that are underway for you, and the business or material things that are the point of focus for many of you. it seems like those things are gonna gain ground and gain traction, but it's just gonna take work and time. It's just yeah, yeah. For some of you, you could be starting a business or starting a new job by the end of the month. Yeah. For some of you, you may be, if you run a business, you may be getting a new contract by the end of the month. Um, that could be lucrative, right? For some of you, it could mean by the end of the month that you may be starting an apprenticeship, or you may be taking on an apprentice, starting a new course perhaps. It would probably be a technical kind of course, like something like a trade or something like that. That'd be something that's indicated by the Three of Wands, or Three of Discs, the Three of Pentacles. Sometimes it's some decks, the Three of Pentacles, it's called discs. Some decks. So yeah, it's all the same suit, pentacles and discs. Anyway, for some of you, this could indicate that you may be working on your reputations by the end of the month. Yeah. Uh, Overall, it looks like yeah, it looks like a good month for you guys. But yeah, it's it seems like I said before, your thoughts are primarily focused on material matters. Yeah, and yeah, there'll be some fun. There'll be some time for pleasure and stuff like that too. But there may not be as much of it this month. But with that being said, there's um, yeah, there's potential for that too, right? So yeah, but like I said, there's also conflict in the air as well, potentially. So just think about what you say, and think about how you react, and think about what you do, think about the actions that you take, and invest your time in the material or work or business related matters that need to be attended to, and try to react to situations and people in the best way that you can, and yeah, you can make progress and have some fun a bit too. um, Make some progress financially, make some progress business wise or career wise or work wise, and there's some potential for fun too, but for some of you there may not be a lot of it. May not be a lot of time for it. Yeah, overall it's good reading for you guys. Anyway, yeah, this will be the end, and it looks like it's going to be a good month. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, yeah, yeah, watch the way you react and respond to people and situations, and you get better results. Yeah, this is especially true for younger people, or for people, your children, or for people, or for romantic relationships you may be involved in as well. Yeah, and if you do those things, if you react from a better place, more from an authentic and from an authentic and compassionate and understanding place, in regards to your dealings with others, then you'll get better results, and you'll have less drama and conflict, and you can gain some ground too, perhaps. So yeah, it's gonna be yeah, it looks like a good month for you guys. So signing off. Bye.